Hi, Yea-ji. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm so excited. I had to go online and
Mm.
research about you because that's what I do when I invite people.
All right.
I really thought that we skated for longer together, like 2008, 2009. But you were like it was only 2006 and 4 and 5.
Yeah, I didn't made it.
It's not that you didn't make it. I mean, there's people online right now that want to make a junior Grand Prix. That's it. And you
Mm.
had a medal. I didn't know that. You were so like I'm amazed. You were like not only good like as a skater, and I know you don't jump anymore and you don't like doing that anymore. I know we've talked, but you were amazing.
Oh,
Like
thank you.
I mean, and a great friend too. We'll talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
about it. So let's talk about how you started skating. How did you, like, when did that happen? How old were you?
I was about 5, so I was in kindergarten, and I wasn't really friend with my friend in kindergarten. I don't know. I wasn't
Okay.
really like a round person, and I didn't want to go to school. That was the problem. And my mom thought I was very active. I was running around so fast
Okay.
around my house. So she was like she needs to do something related to sports. So she decided me to go to sports camp, something
Yeah.
like swimming or camping and something like that. And all of a sudden, and my neighbor said, "Oh, my son is going to speed skating. Are you gonna come?" And so I was like,
Wow.
"Yeah, sure." I was like, and I went there and just stepped on the ice. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to do this."
Oh, that's so
That was
cool.
it.
And
Ever
so
since I stepped on it, I was like, "Yeah, I gotta do it."
so you chose to keep doing it. That's great. And
Yeah.
so you skated when did you decided to train somewhere else? Like what level were you in when you decided to go? Because you skated with Frank Carroll, right?
Yeah, yeah. My mom decided me to go to in 2000 summer camp
Okay.
because I needed to get some more jumps to get done, like difficult elements, double axel, triple, something like that. Because I was in the age of 12, and I really needed to keep it up and develop things to get whatever things were possible. So at that time, we didn't really have the technical skills, so my mom thought I was like, I needed to do it, and she asked the federation or coaches to train abroad. So I met Frank, and I was so lucky to meet Ken
Sure.
Kanjimi and Frank Carroll. Yeah.
Well, Ken, he's somebody that helped me with my PSA stuff. So
Oh,
he, you know what? Ken has this magic binder. So he has
yeah.
all these questions for PSA. So if you, anyone out there knows Ken Conjemi and you ask him, he has every question in the book. So you pass your
Uh-huh.
PSA freestyle.
Yeah, maybe next time I will ask him.
Yes, you should, because he's very open about it. He's so nice
Mm,
about it, and he helps around
mm,
whoever wants. He asks you all this question, and I asked him to come here and train my skaters. And
mm.
at some points, I asked him like, "Oh, could you help me, study?"
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, so we would go to dinner and things like that. We'd be
yeah.
like talking about whatever, and he's like, "What is this and what is that?" I'm like, "Oh, questions! I did not expect that to happen." So yeah, great. Like you had a great experience then. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's amazing guy. Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't think about this. Is that where you met Luis, or did you already know him from?
Yes, yes.
That.
That's how we became best friends.
Oh, now it all makes sense. I thought you guys met in Colorado Springs because you went to Colorado,
No, it
right?
was in Los Angeles, California, El Segundo,
You,
Toyota Sports Center.
yes. Is that place still? Yeah, it exists still. Yes, it does, right?
It still exists.
We're not that old. I mean, I just skated at
Yeah.
ice castles, and I know that's gone, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so tell me more. Let's talk about your favorite competition you ever did.
My favorite competition was in Junior Grand Prix, New Mexico City,
Really?
your hometown, because I had such a great memory there. Yeah. a lot of crowds were clapping really hard to
Oh,
me because
that's awesome.
I remember exactly the day I did the drawing for the
Yeah.
short program and I got number one.
Oh no, you
I
still
was the
got a
first
medal.
girl to skate. And right before the competition, I had this element. We had the spiral sequence element when we were athletes. Remember that? Because right
Back in
now
the day.
we don't have spiral sequence anymore. Instead, we have in a long program for choreo sequence.
Yes.
So at that time, we had to do something like spiral related to Beelman position, and we did one hand Beelman at the time to get the levels done. And I kind of cracked my rib. So at that time, I was like, right before the competition, it was the last practice in the morning. I was like, oh, this hurts. It was so in pain, and I had to go to the medical center to take care about it. And I got some medicines from them, and I was so nervous at that time. And I was like, I don't know if I could be able to handle this or not. And I just tried to focus what I did it my best to do it, and I just did it, and I was like, I mean, like the crowds in Mexican people were so like, such a great people to me, and I was like, I think that fire really made my energy to resolve everything, every problem, and then I tried to do my best at the competition. It was such a great memory. So, yeah.
What was it on the rink that had like bleachers on both sides, or was it on the rink with like the games on one side? Do you
Yeah,
remember
the
the rink?
game's on the one side.
It was horrible, and then the bleachers going, and they don't turn them
Yeah,
off.
there are like the ping pong, the sound going off at the game station. I was like, yeah, it's a fun
Uh,
place.
well, that's awesome. And you know what? I think I spoke to somebody about this in the past. When like musicians come here, they don't realize like the biggest impact they have is how much like how people react here. They're like, I can't believe this is Mexico. People are just going crazy, and they just like, and it's the same thing with like sports. People get really involved, and I think it's really great that it's
Hmm.
something in our culture. I mean, that's one of the positive things.
Yeah, it was a
uh,
wonderful moment. Yeah.
that's awesome. And how does it felt like, you were you expecting to get a medal?
No, I wasn't, because I just tried to do my best, and I had Caroline Zhang at that time, and she was so incredible. Like she was so flexible, and she had great technique with it. And I just like I just decided to tell myself just do your best, and I tried to do it, and I did clean short and some of the clean long programs, and I was like, I might get fourth or third because I had the last competitor, the Japanese girl, and she didn't do really well at the short program at that time, and she had to do the fire to it, or because she has to get all the clean programs done. Otherwise, if she doesn't, she wouldn't get the medal. But luckily, I got the medal for the bronze
Well,
medal. I was
yeah.
like, oh, and I cried that time because it was
uh,
my first medal at the international competition at the moment. So I was so thankful at that time. Yeah.
I'm proud to be your friend. I don't know that person. I'm not a
Yeah,
member.
I love you.
That's awesome. So did you get to meet a lot of the skaters from Mexico? And yeah, you always
Yeah,
were
yeah, I
very
had a
friendly
great
to us.
moment.
Yeah, I don't think. Okay, I remember a lot of like I would always say hello to
Hmm.
everybody at the locker rooms, and everybody would look
Yes.
down. Everybody would just like look down, like they're so nervous, and I would
Yeah,
like,
I was too
hi
serious too.
everybody, and I would end up talking to the coaches. So I like
Hmm.
now when I've had the opportunity, even in synchro, like, and I've seen officials from Korea for like whatever, and like maybe smaller competitions, and they used to be coaches. They just like say hi to me because I was always saying hi to everybody, and nobody would say hi
Right.
back.
Yeah, I remember exactly what you've been doing for the preparing competition. It was really inspiring me because you were singing before you go to competition.
That's
Remember
funny
that?
because it would get me like really calm, and people would be like just looking at me like this crazy person. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the next locker room, and I guess I still sang loud enough, and I don't have the best
Oh,
voice, but I still sing. Don't worry
you
about
are.
it.
Yeah, I admit.
Um, so did you have any like superstitions?
My superstitions, I don't want to see the car signs. You know, the car signs, you see the numbers, and
Yeah.
you have the kind of, um, I don't know, like if I see some numbers, it's just I just try to find some meaning. If I see number one, it was
Okay.
like, could I win? Or if I see number two, it's like, if I lose. And some of the numbers that I hate is number 18. I don't know. It's just I don't want to see it because I had this one crazy moment at the Junior Grand Prix event in Czech Republic, and I saw the sign of number 18. I was like, oh, I don't know why I see the sign number 18 everywhere when I go to the airport, the gate number 18, something like
That's
that.
so funny.
And then when I had this drawing, the moment that I picked up, it was number 18 this time. I was like, what is going on?
Okay, so here's the deal. I bought a ticket to win a house. Would you look at the ticket number and just memorize the
No.
number?
I don't have the superstitions anymore because I quit skating.
So you're not
Yeah, not an athlete
wow.
anymore.
I've never heard about that. I mean, I know like if I see a number, I would try to give it a meaning, but I
Mm.
was like, yeah, whatever. You know, the putting the skate on and things like that. That's the one that's the most common, but I've never heard about the numbers.
Because I had this other crazy moment was like I had this sign number 7, and I won for the first day at the short program, and I did the crazy moment that I made a huge mistake on the long, and I came 7. So right after that, I just had this kind of superstition that I don't want to see the numbers anymore. So that's what it came.
Did you just go like this everywhere? Like, how did you do it?
Um, just like you, I just try to put my headphone on to listen to the radio station or music. Yeah, that's
Wow. I mean,
yeah.
you know what? Something like you now that you mention it, for a full year, before I knew the rules for qualifying for the Olympics, my coach used to say like you have to be top 24 at Worlds
Hmm.
before the Olympics, so you make the cut for the Olympics. So I would
Right.
be like, yes, top 24, top 24, top 24, and I was top 24, but like I would be like
Oh,
24, 24, like you know. So I was 24, and what if I
yay!
had been? Yeah, but what if I had been like 12, 12, 12, 12?
No,
Damn it. You know, we should have
yeah.
spoken earlier in our life about this. That's funny. Thanks for
Mm.
the new superstition. I'll have it on everything now. So you were national medalist, right? A bunch of times? Tell us about it.
So.
No, that's good.
Um,
Difficult.
my nationals? My nationals, you mean? Yeah, it's just I think you know better because we have to qualify for the international events
Yeah.
before, and you have to have a competition with your local skaters. And I think that is tougher than going to the international competitions. Like for
So
me, I had more pressure on the nationals than international competitions. Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes
So
I
it.
see that. Like a lot
Hmm.
of people are really good, but in
Hmm.
national events they're not as good, and then
Yeah.
somebody else gets the assignment, and you would have been better internationally. See, I understand.
It's like when you go abroad and you don't see anybody that you don't know, like you don't know them, and it's much better and feel comfortable to prepare the competition than you are in nationals because there's so many people who talks about you
Yeah.
and you have the same languages together. So yeah, it's hard to keep up, but you have to do it anyway as you're a skater to be a competitor. Yeah.
So did you skate? Okay, so my question is, would you
Hmm.
skate in the US and then go to competition in Korea, or did you just go to the US for like some time in the
No,
season?
no, no. I train only for the off season.
Ah,
Off
okay, so
season, and then
summers.
I go back and I went back home to compete again for nationals and qualify for the international events. Yes.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did you? Okay, so you stopped skating. Um,
Mm,
so
right.
you are such a good dancer. and you upload
No.
Instagram, and you upload all these videos. You guys should follow her. She has amazing videos of her dancing, but and she's a great choreographer. But how, like, what styles of dancing do you do?
Like all kinds of dancing, contemporary dance and hip hop dance, because as a choreographer, you really have to be a lot educated and you really have to know almost everything because you never know what kind of music will the coaches really want you to do. So you really have to adapt many skills as possible. I still need to learn a lot of stuff. So so since I have this, we don't have a quarantine here in Korea. Instead, we have social distance, and I try to do my way, my style is that I don't really see friends or a lot of acquaintance any more than usual because I have to be really careful for the coronavirus. So I stay at home for my isolation time. During my isolation time, I try to apply some of the videos. There's a lot of online classes these days, so I try to do it at home instead. So
So
yeah.
you teach online too?
No, no, no. Actually, we could go on the ice, but we have to wear the mask at all times. But since I don't have my time to spend for the dancing because the dancing the classes are closed because of coronavirus, so I try to find some new informations to get educated for myself. Yeah,
True.
that's how I
Okay.
did.
So here's a question that bothers me a lot as a
Yes.
choreographer. Because you are a
Okay.
choreographer, I am a choreographer. Like I choreograph programs and I've done well, I think. Hopefully, there's some students of mine online. I
Of
hope
course you do.
they're like, of course, she's done amazing. But does it bother you? Because it really bothers me when you see
Hmm.
somebody doing like a Hindi program, but they're doing Arabian moves. It really bothers
Mm-hmm.
me so much. I don't know. Like Hindi is something, and like, this is something else, and you see them going like this, and I'm like, they
Yes.
don't. It's something different. Like a lot of that happens to you when you see like people doing. I don't know. They're trying to do Spanish stuff, but they end up doing something else. Does it
Hmm.
bother you at all, or like you just don't care?
I don't understand your questions that is it that the problem with the choreographer or the skater that
No,
doesn't receive?
no. My question is, does it bother you when you see like somebody skating to some music, okay? And the
Hmm.
music, I don't know, say it's Mexican music, but they're doing Spanish. Does
Oh,
it bother you
okay.
when they don't understand what was choreographed? Like I choreograph, I don't know what Spanish or like Mexican dance would be
Hmm.
like, and I don't research. And I'm like, okay, so go, oh, let it, and just like that's, like, does it bother you?
Um, Probably it's more like the great example for you is that because I'm Asian and I was born in Korea. And probably it will be very ironic if the Chinese person skate into a Korean traditional music and dancing like Chinese person, right?
Okay, yes, but does that bother you? Like
Yeah,
you see that, and you're
yeah, it
like, no,
does.
stop.
It does. And some people decided to do, or maybe one Chinese person decided to do arirang. Arirang is art style, traditional music, and they do the movement with Chinese move. That would be very ironic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a question for you right now. What do you need to be a choreographer?
What's that? What do you need?
Yes. What do you do, or what do you do to become a choreographer, or what do you need to be a choreographer?
Um, you have to study a lot. Study in art and everything. Um, the trend about these days about Corona is also inspiring you because you have social distance, and I think the social news are very inspiring, and that is the most important thing. And I try to go to exhibitions a lot to see a lot of new artistry or some of the stuffs that you really want to see the portraits from somebody's arts. I try to review things a lot to get inspired. And before Corona, I had the ticketings about the musical theaters, and the dance concert. I try to visit every day.
Okay.
So that's how I do. And I try to see a lot of things on YouTube for the dancing movements to try to search for the new styles. So choreographers has to be one word, creative. So that's how you cannot stop what you're working. You have to keep digging everything for try to find some new ideas for it.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
Do you have a like a favorite thing to watch? I remember a lot of people when I ask about choreography, they talk about Pina. You know that movie?
Right.
Yeah. So like
We also had a Pina concert in Korea, so I went there to watch that, and um, last season I decided to do Pina with my girl, and she used to do, but she retired today these days, and she's not skating anymore, but she's doing synchronized skating. But before she quit, we had this Pina program. It was so inspiring, and I just had the greatest moment ever to have this work with choreography, because Pina is, she understands a lot things about the historical things, what she had inspired from, and I respect every moment what she tries to preserve and try to create something to show a lot of people the emotional feelings that we are really hiding a lot. Because when I see people, you try to like be polite and you have to be doing this or doing that, but when you're dancing, you really have to like explore your emotional feelings. That's why you are very inspired by her. And I am very inspired by the Matthew Bourne, the guy from England, and he's a choreographer from the Swan Lake. And he changed everything. It was a revolution. He choreographed the most people know about the Swan Lake is about the women dancing, right?
yeah.
But there's a whole lot of people for doing the group or the Swan Lake. They're all male dancers, and it shocked all of the world. It's so
I'm
inspiring.
gonna
Yeah.
look it up because I've heard of him, but I've never looked like watched
You
it.
must see him. Yeah, you
Never.
must see him.
And
Yes.
okay, so how did it start? Like, okay, you stopped skating, but how did it start this whole career with your choreograph? Like,
Well, we've been competing together, right?
yeah,
And I was too. I wanted to go to the Olympics in 2010, and I wanted, my mom and I wanted to prepare for the Olympic events in 2010, but I had this economical problems, so I had to. My mom was crying because she was telling me that I'm sorry, I cannot afford this anymore. So I was like, okay, and I'm sorry that I tried to bear you or your. I didn't want it to make a pressure for you in entire her life.
yeah.
So by the time we had this showcase for the national teams, and I just had this chance to do the choreography on my own, so I did it, and a lot of people were saying that your choreography is awesome. How do you,
Uh,
who's your choreographer? And I said it was me. and then and then people are like, oh, like you're so good, and maybe if you retire from your skating career, I will call you
oh,
to
that's awesome.
work with my kids. So I was like, okay. And that didn't really sound very well to me because I really wanted to do the competition, and you know how that feels. It was really sad by that time, but now when I see back in the day, it's been 10 years. I just feel so lucky to be a choreographer.
So, did you have any like skating choreographers that were like I read that Chris Brown was your choreographer, right?
Scott
Uh,
Brown, yes.
sorry, Chris Brown. Scott Brown. Um,
That's a singer.
Actually, there's a coach called that too,
Oh,
in,
really? Okay.
in
All right.
Texas.
I don't
Anyway,
know him.
sorry. So uh, so did you get like inspiration from him, or who else did you get inspiration from? Or
Of course, I got inspiration from Scott Brown, and most amazing thing is about that. I was his student by the time, but last year we did a choreography. He did short, and I did free skate for Hain Lee's
uh,
program.
yeah.
And she won two Junior Grand Prix events last year, and it just feels so amazing that I was his student, and he now has a two student of his, Hayne and
Wow.
me. So, and I became a choreographer and do two a piece of them together, and just so amazing. The life you never know. And it's just I just thankful every day. Yeah, and I was inspired by Cindy Stewart because
Yeah.
I had the choreography with her when I was 13, and I won my first nationals because of her program. I thank her, and she is also a choreographer from Soyeon Park.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Wow. Is she still skating?
No, she quit skating and she was in Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, but since the corona, she came back to Korea and um, teach skaters lately. So
Everybody's back in their country. I mean, so many people and friends from like Disney and I are back here, and
I
yeah.
know. I was so proud of her when she was in Cirque du Soleil because I really love Cirque du Soleil piece of music, and it's just so amazing that one of our Korean skaters have been become the artist. And I just hope after this Corona, I hope she returns back and do the great shows events.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have more questions about your choreography.
All right.
Think I'm wrong, but I might be right. I think you mentioned at some point that you worked at the shows with David Wilson. Is that
Yes, I was the assistant choreographer for David Wilson in Yuna Kim's show.
okay? Did you like learn from him a lot, or like is he one of your
Yes.
favorite, or was Scott you like I know they're different completely, and I love David, but at the same time David has like a specific way. So I'm just wondering, like I never actually worked with Scott, so like how which
Mm.
one did you like better? Like yeah, I know they're different, and you can't really
Because I
compare.
can't
But
really compare
yeah,
who's better because I never worked choreography from David Wilson. And one of the things I really enjoyed in working with him, because he encouraged a lot of people, he encouraged me, and I try to help him a lot beside him to do the group choreography. I learned a lot of things from him, and I had this moment, I had this chance to do the whole choreography shows on my own. And before I was going into the showcase, and I called David, and he really tried to say a lot of good things, how to prepare and how to do some stuff, and try to be simple and to be specific. You really have to be going on stepping to easy ways. So that really helped me a lot to change my life. And about Scott, and he really comforts skaters.
okay.
That is his the best method of his philosophy of choreography. And I am very thankful for the both of people that I work with. So yeah.
But I happened to be at one. He was here for our state championships one year when I started skating well. So I did a clean short and a long. I remember that. And he's like, "Why isn't she at Worlds?" Like, and he was so nice to me. He's like, "I loved everything about your program, and you were so energetic." So I have this idea of him that's very like what you said. Like he comforts you, and I was like, if he thinks that, then I can do it. You know, like it was very good. So I understand, and yeah, it's very different because David was helping you with shows. So it's yeah, I
No, no,
understand.
I was helping David with the shows.
No,
Just
no,
try
no.
to be
But you said
specific.
no, no. But you said then you also called him when you had your own thing, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's what I meant.
It was just
Yeah, I understand. So that's so lucky of you because I think that I mean I want to get to the Olympics and how you choreographed for that, and you had all these other events that you've done, and it's probably nerve-wracking. Like, I hope it goes well and there's like a TV going on and everything, you know? Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. But before we get into it, I want to ask you this question from somebody, from Sophia. What do you do when someone asks you for a specific routine or program, and you see that that person is like that music doesn't suit them? Like you don't like that
Mm,
for that person. What would you do?
mm,
So,
it's it's a good question. If there's a lot of ways you could do.
okay.
First of all, when when it depends on the situation if you choreograph the skater.
Okay.
If you choreograph the skater on your own, you could be able to recommend to change the music. But if there's a situation about if if there was a skater who did a choreography with somebody and you see with the coaches that doesn't fit, that you really have to discuss because you can't really touch. It's very sensitive, you know,
Yeah.
because you really have to respect the choreographers, and it is really important to discuss how you can be able to handle it, and also you have to understand, and the most important thing is how do the skater feel about the program if the skater doesn't want to change and uh, um, if the skater doesn't want to change the program, but the choreography doesn't really fit for you, you really have to respect the skaters. If they don't want to change it, you really have to fix the choreography inside the program that doesn't fit to try to make it better. But if the choreography is bad and she or he doesn't want to do it anymore, then you have to change it because you the first thing is how the skater would feel.
So,
And it's not about the judgment of the coaches and choreographers. That's what I think. Yeah.
okay. So you rather do like you do you have your own students, like jumping students and all this? If one of your students wants, I don't know, La Bamba.
La Bamba.
Yeah, like para bailar La Bamba, and you're like, no. Like I
Ah,
want La Bamba. What would you do? Like just do
I
it?
don't, I don't, I don't try to say my opinions in negative ways. If I say no, and there's a limitations going on. I never said no.
Okay. You know, I never told anyone like I'm not gonna teach you anymore until I couldn't handle it anymore. The
Mm,
disrespect. So sometimes you're
it
gonna have
is.
that first time. Have something in mind ahead of time, pre-planned, just in case you have to do it because
Or you could be able to say, "Oh, that music is also good, but what if you listen to this music?" Yeah, that's
no,
what I
I
do.
want La Bamba. Da, 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 da. And you're like,
Then you do
okay.
it.
Okay, well, perfect. So I'm gonna send you some students that want La Bamba. No.
Bring it on.
You know what? Maybe you should come here and choreograph a lot of programs, and then we could also like keep you here for a little bit, and then coronavirus when it gets better, then you can come, and then we'll figure something out because I really love your stuff too, and it's
Oh,
really
I
nice.
love to. Thank you.
And I won't have La Bamba if I can avoid it. Don't worry about that.
I'm fine with everything.
It's funny. Anyway, so Four Continents closing ceremony was your first event you did like that was recorded and it was with international skaters and winners and all this situation. How did you one? How did you do it? Like how did you get to that point where they asked you to do it? And two, how do you feel? I'm like nervous for you. I was like, she did all this and like I don't know. I'm nervous like to think about it. I don't know. How did you get there? Like how did you do it?
I was called uh by the year of 2010, we didn't really actually have the official choreographers in Korea. And that year was my debut.
Okay.
And coincidentally, the Four Continentals was in Korea, and um, I guess the federation, I, it's hard to explain. The Korean Federation did not prepare for the finale.
Oh my
And
God.
then it was like 5 or 4 days before the closing the finale, and I think one of the officials, the ISU, was saying, "Where's the choreographer?" Because you
Oh
need a
my God.
choreography for the finale and have it prepared, and maybe that's how it came to do and commence the choreography every year. I had the competition or Far Continents Junior Awards in Korea. So
Oh
that's what
my
it happened.
God. Well, it was a
I was
lucky
like,
mistake.
I got a call. I was like, the choreography, the group number. I was like, okay, coming right up. That's it.
Were you nervous?
I was so nervous. My heart was pounding. My
And
heart
when
was pounding because
and
I
did you
only have 40 minutes for choreography.
and what did you do? I don't like what did you do? Like did you make everybody do the same stuff or were you like one by one?
No,
Let's go.
I tried to look up on the because we had this K-pop thing. It's
Okay.
very famous these days.
Is it?
So I really wanted to put my K-pop style because a lot of international skaters are visiting Korea, so why not Korean music? So I did a
Yeah.
choreography with group numbers. It was really fun. I was very honored. The problem is that only 4 continents they have this event to prepare the finale without a single event. Like for example, the exhibition should be prepared like right after the whole competition is finished, like
Yeah.
the pair dance, single woman, single man when they are finished. But it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The the men's skating has not finished, and
So you
you only have female skaters, pair skaters, ice dancers to do the choreography, and you really have to anticipate how to do the choreography for 10 or 15 minutes to put the rest of the skaters on the ice.
and are they
It's
good?
it's horrible.
But are they good remembering? Like, okay, so I have to do this and that. Like, are they okay? Like, or are they not quick?
It's half and half.
Oh
Yeah,
my
like
God.
if you have like 20 skaters, about 15 they memorize it. Only like 5 they don't. Just go on, yeah.
But they're good copying, right? Like
Oh
copying
yeah,
other.
yes, 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 yes. But luckily, I was retired like lately that time because it was by the year of 2010. I had these skaters who were with me when I was in junior events. So I was like, some of them were my friends. I had Kevin Reynolds at the time, the
Okay.
Canadian skater. I just had this moment to um had this corporate to do the choreography to explain how to do it, and they were very fun to me. It was very fun, and you could see some of the examples of in my Instagram how I did the finale lately for the 4 continents
Okay. I'll look it
this
up.
this
Look it
year.
up.
I did the
So
Vogue.
wow. I'll look into it. I mean, I have looked into your stuff, but like I wasn't like paying attention, like
It's
for
okay.
confidence.
Yeah, yeah.
So then you got to prepare for the opening and closing for the Olympics, right?
No, 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 no. It was only the finale event of the Olympics. Yeah.
Oh wow. And were you involved in the whole creative process or just like the choreography itself?
I did the whole process because I had to do this opening finale. That
Okay.
means I had to do the group number with the local skaters. So I had to pick about 16 skaters. So I decided to do the choreography relating to synchronize because I was very interested in the group choreography and synchronized skating. So I try to gather up about 16 girls that I used to do the choreography with. And I have to have this inspiration for the opening about, since we had this Pyeongchang Olympic events, we had to do Korean style way. So what would be the best way to do the Korean style? So it was, of course, with the traditional music, and I wanted to do with the instruments. And I had we call this sogo. It's this sogo. So is a small meaning, and go is a drum. So small drum. So I had made the 16 girls to do the drum on the ice. It
Okay.
was very inspiring moment, and I did the choreography from the falls, right, like 3 months before the Olympics.
Okay.
So I had to train the 16 girls before we had to go to actual events. And these girls had not just to do the choreography, they also did the work in Olympic events. They did the ice patch for
Oh, okay.
for a month. So I've been there with them to be a supervisor at the time. At the same time, I did prepare for the opening finale and the finale for the Olympians. Was
Yeah,
honorable. Yeah.
that's awesome. Um, I wanted to ask you something more about that. Okay, so is that how you got the girls hooked into synchro?
Yes, because their parents really love the moment when they did the choreography with the Olympics and the test Olympic events. And they asked me about why not we could make the synchronized team. And I just felt, um, it's really difficult to make, but I don't know what to do. And I just try to prepare and think about what could be the best to anticipate for about a year. And then I decided to make the team 2019. That was like last year. So
It was like it looks like it's going really well. Like they started, I don't know like how much.
hopefully, crossing my
No, but
fingers.
I don't know like who you're talking to, but it's working. And like I know I remember reading the rules for synchro and looking at it and being like, this makes no sense. Synchro rules make no sense when you don't understand synchro. So I would read
It's
the
totally
rules.
different.
Yeah, and I would read the rules, and there's something about a line, and like make sure it like. And before, I don't know if it's still there because we haven't had a team in a while, but like you would interact two lines like this, and I did it. And then like somebody, I invited a coach over, and she like stepped back, and she's like, "What did you do?" And I was like, "It's like two lines, and they're going like this, and then they're traveling." And she's like, "You're going the other way." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Everybody does it the other way." I'm like, "So what?" And she's like, "You can't
Mm,
go the other way." I'm like, "I can't, or you don't want
mm,
me to." And she's like,
mm.
"You're right. Like you could, but nobody's doing that." So we had to change the whole thing. I mean, it's so hard. Synchro is so hard. People don't understand. And you're doing such a great job. Like, what are you doing to push that team?
Trying to. Most of the girls were single skaters, and you know how people get involved after
Yeah.
being single skater. They do the group choreography with synchronized team, and I just I just let them to try to get the conditions. I don't know, like since they've been doing the singles, they were very stressed about being at the competition.
Yeah.
But the difference is that you could compete in synchro, but you have to do it together.
Yeah.
And they really feel they don't feel the pressure and they feel the comfortness and they tell me that they get the smile a lot of time because they are very happy when they're on the ice. And I just wanted to feel that way for the
Yes.
synchronized skating. And that was our motivation to do that. And I've been helped by the team from Team Image USA. So I got a lot of advice from Cindy Kim, and I have my assistant named Yin, and which she was a synchronized skater when she was young. So
Okay.
I still it is really difficult to know the choreography or the rules about the synchronized skating because it is totally different than the single skating. So I still need to learn a lot of things, and really learn and be really thankful for Yen. She's beside me to help me about it, and we are very happy to be on the ice for the group numbers. So we are trying to continue with the happiness. So that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the thing. Many people quit because they get injured or they can't do it anymore in synchro, and it doesn't mean they don't like skating. So you're correct.
Right.
Like that's why I called them back. I'm like, you love skating and you had a goal and you wanted to represent your country, and you can still do that. But I don't know if you have any goals for that. Like, do you guys plan to compete
Our
anytime soon?
goals is that our Korean team has never participated the events of Junior Worlds.
Okay.
So not any other teams have ever done that. So our goal is to participate the Junior Worlds event. So hopefully we could be able to make at the international events relating to ISU so that we could be able to get some points and maybe after that uh, probably maybe Korean Federation might let us go to the Junior Worlds event. So
Okay. So is there
we,
many? There's more teams in Korea.
I think there are two more teams because
Okay.
our team is the latest because
Okay.
I made them about a year ago, and I know some of the teams were made about 9 or 10 years ago, so more older than us. So they might be better than us. So we have a lot of things to learn and try to
Nobody's
develop
better
a
than
lot of things. Just try to be humble.
No, well, I mean, you have to pump yourself up. I mean, that's one of the questions I never asked you. It was like, did you have anything that helped you like get so excited and go, compete and be so happy? Like, I don't know. I had music, and you just, you told everybody that I used to sing before like in front of everybody at the locker room, which is true. But I had songs that got me like, yeah, you can do it. Come on. Did you have anything like that?
Of course, I listened to Christina Aguilera's Beautiful.
Woo! Oh,
Before
that's
I go to competition, that was my inspiring music ever. And the most inspiring music that I listen to before I get on the ice is the White Stripes.
oh, good. Like,
I like rock music.
oh,
So
good. I like too. That's nice. Is there any music you wouldn't like anyone skating to? Like, there's a song I don't like. There's one song I hate anyone skating ever, and I just don't. I can't stand it, and I cannot stand little kids skating to it. And it's the Requiem for a Dream song because the movie is so horrible, 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 disgusting, disgusting. And then people still skate to it, and I just can't stand it. I used to get goosebumps and want to throw up every time anyone skated.
oh,
It was bad.
I used to dislike the Hungarian dance music.
You like
You
it
know
or
the
you
cla I don't like it.
don't?
I don't know. I didn't really feel about the music relating to gypsy songs, but
Okay.
now
Oh,
I
that's
try to
true.
change it. Now I try to change it because you cannot do the choreography only your favorite music, and it is really important to try to adapt something that you don't like. And I really learn from the choreography with coaches because some coaches really prefer some music that you don't like,
Yeah.
and you cannot really put your opinions too much because otherwise it is for the best for the skaters. So I try to like be patient, just try to do the choreography even though I don't like the music, but the result came well. So after that I decided to do just try to like something that I dislike. So you cannot, you have to break the stereotype
Okay.
if you're a choreographer because you really have to be creative to open up your mind. So
And how did you do? How did you even like? You can answer as a skier or as a choreographer for bigger events. How did you deal with being nervous?
how did I deal? How did I deal? I try to think my past few days.
Sorry, I did not prepare you for this question.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
I always bring my note with me,
Okay.
any empty notes, because I just try to note. This is my this was my systematic period to try to write down, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it 4 or 5 times before I go on the ice. Yeah, it is really it really helps me a lot to make myself to be in a positive mind. And right after that, I try to take a map about the choreography map
Okay.
for the empty paper and just try to write down the choreography. Where do I jump or where do I do this and what spins do I do? Listening to the music at the same time. So that's what I do. Yeah.
So you're a very like visual person.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But the moment you sang when we were back in Four Continents, I was surprised because I just thought no, it wasn't really ignored. Just seriously, I this is my honest way to, and I was like, oh, that skater, she copes her stress with the singing. That is really great. And because you know, like I love singing too, but I'm not really open minded to show people like, hi, like, hey, I'm beautiful, like something like that.
That's awesome.
But you're a
Hi.
beautiful person. You're a beautiful person,
Oh,
and just
thank you. You saw my
it was
video.
so inspiring.
Oh, thank you. You know, I learned the difficult way. I had a friend. Well, my sister was always very out there when she was young. She'd be like, "Hi," and
Mm.
I'll be like behind her and be like, you know, like. And then I had this friend, and when I moved to the United States, this friend Dorothy, she would like talk to anyone and become friends with anyone, but like not friends. Like I don't know you, and I just invited you to my house to have a party. Like why would you do that? And she would be so open and just be like, "Hey, who are you? Oh, so you're friends with this and that and that." And I'm like looking at her like this crazy girl is talking to somebody she doesn't know. She's like, "Oh, we're having a party. You should come over." And that person would come. So I had
Mm.
to learn to open up because I was missing out
Oh.
on opportunities. That's what I felt like. So I wasn't
Mm.
like out there. I was very shy at some point, like up to like 14, 15. I was still like, hi, you know. So this is my very last question for you.
All right.
Do you have any like goals for yourself in the future? I mean, you've choreographed a little for the Olympics. I mean, what else is there for you now?
I want to be a happy person.
You are
That's my
happy,
goal.
and you have an amazing dog, and you have an amazing everything.
Yes, I have my amazing dog. I don't know. It's just it you have a lot of pressure too when you have good skaters to do the choreography, and sometimes you have this other, even though you're not an athlete, you're not a skater, you have a stress about your skating career to teach your students, and you have worries about the season, and this girl has to do the best season for doing well for her career,
Yeah,
and you really want to keep up those steps for their dreams. And I did that too for the last 10 years to try to like, oh, I have to do the choreography so well. So that if I do well, the skaters will be able to go to competitions and they will be able to do so well. And I had so many expectations about the choreography after the results and all that stuff. And it's stressful because you really have to be creative and at the same time you have to be really good. But I just really think like my friends say you're a really good choreographer.
yeah.
My coach and other colleagues says you're a great choreography. You have a great choreography with your skating. You're so amazing. I'm so thankful about their compliments, but at the same time it is really pressure that you really have to have this mind repeating that you really have to do well and well and well, and just I just feel like I need to feel that I am loved, and I have to I have to know to myself that I need to protect somehow that I really am enjoying my life or being happy. I just feel that I need to know that I'm doing really well because sometimes I just try to tell myself I have to do this and do that. So
Yes,
yeah,
I
I don't
know.
know what you understand.
I understand, and I'm learning a lot from you right now because I think that's how I feel, and I hadn't realized it. Like,
Mm,
yes, I want to be happy, and I put all this pressure on myself, and I thought people triples out of nowhere here in Mexico, and I have new students that are trying that now, and sometimes like I want them to do well, but then there's so many things in the way, and then they're also Mexico, so you want to push them like so they're recognized, and then your job is recognized, and sometimes you feel like it's not recognized enough, and I understand completely what you mean, but at the end of the day we all just want to be happy, and we translated it
right.
into the sport, I think.
Hmm. Hmm.
So thank you so much for this chat. It was amazing. And we haven't, I mean, I don't know if anyone wants to know this, but like at the moment coronavirus hit, we started talking to each other on WhatsApp. And I'm like, how are you guys over there? We don't have it here. Now we have horrible corona here. And you guys are better now.
Yeah, it
And
was in February. It was in
yes,
February. I was like, this is horrible. Like I have to wear this mask at all times, and the ICU officials, they don't really come closer to you, and they have to wear this mask at all times, and they don't hug you anymore because you really have to be
yeah,
careful. And
ugly.
you're like, oh, you just be careful, and then you just call me like, we
Yeah,
have the coronavirus.
I know.
I know. Just try to be careful and wear
Yeah,
the mask at all times, please.
we have like 1,000 cases a day now. Like we had zero,
Oh.
zero in February, and all of a sudden it's like three, 3,000. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, get in your houses and stop. But anyway,
Oh.
let's keep
Okay.
talking about how you doing, how am I doing, and I just want to thank you so much for talking to me and everybody. And
Please be
people,
healthy.
people are gonna love your chat. They can still look at it for a while now, and then I'll send you the podcast when it comes out.
Wow. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
everybody. Thank you so much for being
With
part of
big
it.
hugs.
Yeah, big
Thank
hugs.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Hello.